Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Content to Play Villain. In this episode, I'll be discussing the fictional character, Pennywise the Clown, a psychotic, daunting, and shape-shifting character from the film and book, It. This episode will be broken down into 4 parts. Firstly, who Pennywise is. 2, the evil things that he did. 3, why he did those things. And 4, my opinion if the evil things he did were justified. I hope you enjoy this episode and make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Let's get started. Pennywise the Clown from It is a major character in the film and book. Pennywise, who is also called It, is billions of years old, spawned in the void of the Macroverse, which is also otherwise known as the Toe-Dash Darkness. An unknown number of centuries or even millennia ago, Pennywise came to planet Earth to feed. It lives in the sewers of the New England town Derry, awakening every 27 years to feed, manipulating its prey's fears in order to make them easier to hunt. The character is an ancient, shape-shifting, trans-dimensional evil entity who hunts and devours children, as their fears are much more easier to manipulate than adults. He has a variety of powers that include the ability of shape-shifting and manipulation of reality. Pennywise wears a baggy silk suit of silver with orange pom-poms and a collar ruff. He has a white face and a bald head with red hair on either side. His mouth has a red clown smile with incredibly sharp teeth. He wears large white gloves and is usually seen carrying a bunch of balloons. Due to its shape-shifting abilities, the true identity of the creature is never established. It seems to have no real name, gender, or identifiable species. Thus, the creature is only referred to as it by its enemies. There are several actions Pennywise does throughout the film that show he may be an outrageous villain. The first is Pennywise's tendency to terrify children. In 1956, Pennywise encounters a group of local Derry children, collectively nicknamed the Losers Club. It attempts to devour them, but they not only survive, but manage to hurt, battle, and partially defeat it. Throughout this ordeal, Pennywise inflicted mass terror upon the Losers Club, examples being targeting the Losers Club with verbal abuse, especially Bill, mocking his stutter and exploiting the loss of his younger brother. Pennywise enjoyed toying with the Loser Club, often terrifying, tormenting, and harassing them. He is an intelligent master manipulator that decides to feed on children for a variety of reasons. Firstly, their fears are very easy to represent. Having the ability to turn into someone's worst phobia, Pennywise is able to terrify its victims before they die, ensuring they taste better. The fears of children are simple, with werewolves, Frankenstein's monster, and school showers all making an appearance. There's also the fact that children are easier to overpower, and even if they do escape an encounter, the odds of an adult believing them are very slim. Pennywise wants to isolate the Losers Club, so it's easy for it to pick them off one by one. Members of the Losers Club are already on the fringes of society, distanced from their parents, and often without any friends. These children are used to being alone, used to not being believed, and used to being terrified. Pennywise is also a murderer. Georgie Denbrough, the brother of the younger brother of Bill Denbrough, falls prey to Pennywise the Clown. Georgie makes a paper boat with his older brother on a rainy day. Bill is too sick to accompany Georgie outside, so he helps him make the boat and sends him on his way. The boat ends up falling down a storm drain, much to Georgie's dismay. Georgie then encounters Pennywise in the storm drain, who offers him a red balloon and tells him about how people float down in the sewers. Pennywise offers Georgie his boat back, but when Georgie attempts to reach out to it, Pennywise grabs Georgie's left arm and bites it off, leaving Georgie to bleed to death in the rain. Not long after his death, Georgie's appearance would be utilized by Pennywise to taunt and provoke Bill. Highly intelligent, Pennywise is a cunning and manipulative trickster. In the guise of Pennywise the Dancing Clown, it can exhibit warmth and friendliness, luring prey, particularly children like Georgie, into a false sense of security. Pennywise displays arrogant narcissism, forming no alliances and caring for no one but itself. To Pennywise, humans are inferior beings meant to be toyed with and consumed. He is a master manipulator, as Pennywise presents a facade of being loud, jovial, cheerful, merry, sociable, and charming, offering children a visit to its circus and free food. However, this is merely a ruse to ensnare its prey. Beneath this guise, Pennywise lacks any redeeming qualities, maintaining its twisted and malevolent nature. Despite preying on fear, Pennywise is a true coward at heart. When confronted with resistance, Pennywise retreats rather than fights. For all its bravado and impressive abilities, Pennywise is hedonistic and emotionally immature, acting on immediate desires without planning ahead. It craves attention and creates commotion, ultimately leading to its downfall. An aspect of Pennywise's personality is also his greatest weakness, his arrogance. Pennywise's arrogance and short-sightedness prompt it to confront all the losers together, rather than picking them off individually, seeking to reaffirm its supposed invincibility. Its greatest weakness is underestimating the power of human goodness, love, and friendship, leading to its presumed demise when the Losers Club unites against it. This hubris works against Pennywise as the losers, despite lacking experience, manage to defeat it by working together. Now, why was Pennywise content to play villain? In other words, why did Pennywise perform his acts of evil? It can be argued that Pennywise is not a clown. He didn't turn evil, it is evil. It is a being from another universe or planet. Not a god exactly, but something similar to what we think of as a god or demon-like creature. Its presence affects people badly and brings out the worst in people. It feeds on fear, which empowers him and allows him to manifest in more terrifying forms. The more fear he instills, the stronger he becomes, making him a formidable adversary for the children who confront him. Pennywise's evil nature stems from his identity as a cosmic entity that feeds on fear, with a cyclical pattern of awakening and feeding every few decades. His choice to appear as a clown is a calculated tactic to exploit the innocence and vulnerability of children, making him one of horror literature's most iconic villains. Were Pennywise's acts justified? Absolutely not. Terrifying children is some of the lowest acts you can do. However, should Pennywise, being a non-human entity, excuse him for being evil? That is for the viewer to assess and decide.